we were talking about assets and debts.
Uh-huh.
And I said, do you know what an asset is? And you said, not clearly. So I said, well, let me explain it. The best way I can explain it is by explaining investments.
Uh-huh.
So the first example I gave was buying a house. So you look at buying a house, you do have to pay money to buy a house, okay? But over
Yeah.
time, the value of the house increases. And when the value increases, you can make money from it. That's an investment. So you're investing a little, but you're receiving a lot over time. Well, a lot, you're receiving more than you put in. You're actually making money from it. A lot or a little depends on how good the investment is. Okay. Another example I gave was education. So when you're 18 through, let's say you're young, okay, late teens, early 20s, or late teens through your 20s, and you decide to go to school for a bachelor's or a master's degree, or a law degree, or whatever profession you choose. So you're investing the money early, okay? And you might invest a lot of money, but depending on what your profession is, if you invest the money to become a professional that makes a lot of money, then over a lifetime, your earning potential is so much greater than if you didn't have an education. So you invest a little in education, but you earn so much more over a lifetime. Okay? And the more you earn, the more you can invest in other things, such as a house, or paying money into the stock market, investing in the stock market. Okay. The other investment I was going to say, was the stock market. You invest money in the stock market. So you put a little in. Let's say you buy a share of Amazon. I'll just use Amazon because they're like a big company that everybody knows. One share of Amazon, by the way, is, at this moment, I haven't looked recently, but the last time I looked at a share of Amazon, I think it was about $1,800 for one share. But you invest a little bit. But think about Amazon.com, Amazon, the store, online store. How much have they grown? How much have they grown? You don't have to quantify it, but just think in your head, like they started out as a company that you type in, I want to buy a guitar or a pair of socks. And then you enter your payment information and your address, and they ship it to your house within days. So it started out as just that, but they've expanded. They've grown from an online store to now you can watch television and stream videos through Amazon. They have Amazon Music was probably the second thing I was interested in. But now they have television and movies. They make their own movies. I mean, this company is growing and growing and growing. So you put in a little bit. I don't even want to think about what the Amazon stock cost 10 or 20 years ago. I don't know if they were around 20 years ago, but 10 or 15 years ago. Were they? I think they were. 20 in the year 2000, Amazon was around. It was a long time ago. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to do some math, but I'm like, did I buy things from Amazon.com before I got married? Because I got married that next year, so I'm like, anyway, I think I did. I think Amazon was around in 2000. But anyway, so 10, 20 years ago, how much was a stock then? Let's say I'm just inventing this and making it up, but let's say it was $50 a share. Okay, 2 shares. You put in $100 for 2 shares, and then the company grows, and now 1 share is $1,800. So that is a lot of growth for a company. So you invest a little up front, and then you get money back. That's an investment. So having an account like that, having a retirement account or an E-Trade account, or I'm trying to think of the other names of the accounts there. Investing in the stock market, having an account, that's an asset. Can you think of any other assets that a person might have?
Like Amazon.
What?
Another one. Computer things.
It could be, yeah, if you have a lot of technology. You invest in it, and they're very useful. So I think once you have your technology set up, if it makes your life easier, you might pay less in the long run. Like if I could send information online, it would be cheaper than if I sent it through the mail. Yeah, technology. Things that I think of assets as things that increase in value, but they don't necessarily have to increase in value. You may also have assets that that you can eventually sell to make some money from. I'm thinking of like instruments, musical instruments. I mean, collecting instruments, that's actually money going into the instruments. But eventually, like if you passed away, if you died and left the instruments to a family member, they might be able to sell them and make some money from it. Not a lot. I mean, depending on how many instruments you have. I do know some guitar players who collect guitars and end up with 20, 30, 100 guitars. I mean, I barely play guitar, and I have hold on, let me think. I think I have 3 downstairs. I have one that I use for gigs. I have this one. And I have the first one I bought and the second one I bought. And I'm holding on to someone else's. So in my house, I have 5 guitars right now.
Ooh.
I know. I shouldn't have that many guitars, but... and a ukulele. I just bought a ukulele. Did I play it for you last week? Okay. Okay, so debts compared to assets. Debts are... there's good debt and there's bad debt. If you have a debt that... And this, I don't know, so much of this could be construed as opinion, but it's also my opinion based on my life experience and my knowledge of watching shows like Dave Ramsey and listening to my dad's advice. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Bad debt is you go to... You buy clothing with your credit card. If you buy clothing with cash, that's fine. That's something that you need. You need new clothes, okay?
Yeah.
But do you need how much are teaks? Are they $200? Do you need a $200 pair of teaks? Because I don't, but I want them. But if I used my credit card to buy them, that would be bad debt. I could pay cash. And if it's something that I want, then it's a gift to myself. It is not an investment, because what happens to shoes? They wear down. They decrease in value. And you walk in them.
Oh.
Your feet go in them, and your feet sweat in them. And then they walk on the ground outside and collect goodness knows what. And they get dirty.
Yeah.
Cars are, your regular average driving car is not an investment. That's not to say that somebody who collects cars and refurbishes a car and then resells it as like a classic car back in its mint condition for more than they invested, that's an investment. But I'm talking about your average Jeep or Honda that you use to go to work. You commute. Going to work back and forth, that's called commuting. That kind of investment decreases in value. So think about going to a car dealership. Okay, and there's a nice, shiny, beautiful, whatever kind of car you can dream of. A basic commuter car that you, but you want to get it. I don't want to say that. You, let's say in your mind, you're thinking, I want a brand new car. Nobody's ever driven it before. It's got 3 miles on it, and it might be $25,000.
Wow.
But it has heated seats, Risa. It has heated seats, and it has automatic everything. An XM radio or whatever they call them. I don't know because I don't have one, but I always buy used cars. That's just me. But okay, so you buy the car for $25,000, brand new, and it has the new car smell. It smells like a new car. Ooh. It's intoxicating, and they say the second you drive off the lot, the second you drive from the dealership to the regular old street, the car decreases in value like that. And then over time, what happens to your car? It's outside, it gets weathered, it might get a scratch or a dent or a bump, it gets dirty. People spend a lot of time in their cars eating and driving and smoking, yes. And they're just messy. I mean, we're messy. We're people. We're messy. I don't care how clean you are. Your car is going to get dirty, and you're going to have to. Oh, and don't forget the pets. Yes. If you are a neat person, you do not want to go in my Jeep. I've had some neat, and when I say neat, a derogatory term for this type of person would be a neat freak. That's not really a derogatory term. It's kind of like, but it's not a compliment. If you're a neat freak, there are tidy people, and that's fine. Tidy's fine. But then there are neat freaks who are like, I'm not touching that. I've had a neat freak come into my car. I was going to give her a ride somewhere, and she wouldn't sit in my passenger seat. And I looked over at my passenger seat. In my mind, it wasn't that dirty. But you know what I noticed? A couple of dog hairs from Phoebe. And it turned her off, and she wouldn't get in the car. So I ended up getting a towel from my bathroom, and I laid down the towel for the princess. And I said, here you are. I hope this is to your standards. I didn't say that. I did get the towel. And look, life's dirty. Life gets dirty, okay? Especially with animals, pets. And yeah, cars depreciate in value. Depreciate. That means they go down in value. Unlike a house, opposite from a house, which appreciates in value. It increases in value. The value appreciates. Unlike a car, the value depreciates. Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Okay.